Yo, what up? What up? For HYPEBEAST Radio, this is Manny, and this is Soundcheck, a show that looks to discover the origin story of your favorite artists and major players in the music industry. We ask the questions that you always wanted to get answered, and you never know who may pop by. For the third episode of Season 2, we talk to Father, the Atlanta native who sits down to discuss partnering with RCA, Adult Swim, and so much more. Welcome to Soundcheck. So this is episode 2, season 2 of Soundcheck. We have a special guest that I would like him to introduce himself.
Yo, it's Father of Awful Records.
Nice, nice. How you been?
Pleasant. You know, very nice, very, very comfortable. Just been kicking it, man.
Pleasant is a good word.
Yeah.
Pleasant.
Yeah.
When people say that, I feel like
it's true.
It's nice. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've been okay. Like, just, yeah.
That's good. So, when I got the emails from RCA saying Awful signed a joint venture with them, I was like, holy shit, this is really cool.
Yeah,
it was like
man.
Awful Records, here we go, major label. What made that decision? What was like?
I mean, honestly, I was, like we've been doing it like indie for so long, and it's like I never was like, nah, man, I'll never do that. It was just a thing of like I'm waiting for the correct opportunity to present itself, and it's like that makes sense, and this made sense. That's all really that happened. It was like it finally was just like, oh, okay, no, that's a great, like, I fuck with y'all. Like this shit's cool. Like y'all have shown in the work that y'all done already that this is something I want to align myself with. Whereas other people that hit me up, I was kind of like, you're responsible for this, and I didn't like that, and you're responsible for this, I didn't like that, and the thing you put on the table sounds like you're trying to fuck me, and I don't want to be part of that. So, but this was like on the nose, like it was really good.
Nice. Because like when I thought of Awful Records, I definitely think indie and like one of the pinnacles indie, especially for new generation. So I was like surprised, but good surprise, because I was like, oh, this is only going to get bigger. Was this like a long decision? Was this like a long thought out process?
It took a minute to like, secure everything and lock everything down, like the things that we need, and be like, like to make sure that we are, our asses are covered and all that stuff like that. We didn't just jump straight into it. It was like, hey, man, we guys want to give you this. And it's like, this is me signing on the table right now. But like, it wasn't that quick. Like, it took like a smooth year of negotiations to get everything really locked in.
That's good.
I feel like some things do happen faster.
Yeah.
But no, we talked it out for like a pretty good minute to make sure everything is pretty nice. On both sides,
nice.
And not giving up too much, like, nothing's getting lost in the process.
Yeah. So like, I guess what's the plan? So I know you're doing Awful Swim.
Right.
Which I'm excited for, because which we'll talk about in a little bit, because I'm a huge Adult Swim fan. I'm a huge Awful fan. So like that definitely makes sense. And so Awful Swim, is that your album, or is that just like a joint?
It's my album. It's my album. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did that all get together?
It happened from a tweet, actually. It was the most random thing. Like Rich Post Slim of Awful.
Nice. Yeah.
He just hit Jason DeMarco on Twitter and was just like, hey, man, you should do something with Awful Records. And he was like, okay. It was like instantaneous. He was like, all right, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, it's like, bro, like you've known about us the whole time, and like like we all like like it's like an obvious thing that everybody loves Adult Swim.
Yeah.
And it's like you just known this entire time, like, oh yeah, we like them. But it's like until we extended that it's like, okay, like it was not like we'll think about it.
Yeah.
It was like very just like, all right, we can do something. Pull up to the office, we'll talk about it.
How long ago was that?
That was like summer of 2 years ago.
Oh,
damn.
wow.
Yeah. Damn. You're right. I've been living in LA for like almost 2 years now.
Oh, wow.
And we first started talking before I left Atlanta. So yeah, it was 2 years ago.
That's crazy how like social media can be like that connector. I think that's the good thing about social media.
It is
that
you
can just directly reach out, because DeMarco's a really great dude. I got to meet him a couple of times, and he's also very visible and on Twitter.
Right.
And so it's so awesome that the fact that Rich Boy can just really reach out to him and be like, hey man, we're big fans, maybe we can work together. And he's like, oh yeah. Nice. How was the process been like, working together?
Honestly, it's been very like me doing my normal thing. Honestly, like the way they said, the way they brought it up to me was like, hey, like we already like what you're doing, so we don't need like to have a hand in the process. Just do what you do, because that's like it aligns with us already in terms of like how creative you are and whatnot, and we'll help push it, provide resources and whatnot. So it hasn't changed anything that I was working on like previously. Same process.
Where did you record it at? Because I know they got a studio in Atlanta as well. Was it Mean Street?
Yeah. Nah, it wasn't even like that. It was wherever I wanted to. If I wanted to record that shit in the middle of the fucking street, I could have done that.
Sick.
But like it was mostly like me in the house. Like I was in my crib. I owned a studio in LA for a little bit. I did a little recording there. I actually came up to New York, recorded some more songs up here with Melty Cannon.
Nice.
But just been like just me floating around. Like I like to travel and record. I don't really like being in studio environments, stuck in like a fucking dungeon. It feels weird. Don't really like that feeling that much. Was that like open air, like real open space, like some fun shit?
Is that like something? Have you been recording? Like you'd like to travel in different places?
Yeah. That's always. Sweet. That's kind of like how I've handled pretty much every album. As much as I'll be home and like working on things steadily, the best records always happen while I'm traveling. I'm sitting in like a hotel room and I'll make like a song that everybody just suddenly loves. And it'll be the quickest thing I make too. It'll be the thing that I make in like 5 minutes rather than the thing I spent the entire year working on. You know?
Oh, okay. Tell me. So I was listening to Awful Swim earlier today, and definitely a lot of cool features. Sure. A lot of the team is on there. Sure. I guess, can you talk about like what was it like working with everybody again? Because it's been like a couple of years.
Yeah.
It's been like, what, 2 years since your last project?
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. For the most part, it's not the same as before, where like I just had like, I had this hub that everybody just rotated in and out of at all times. So it's very easy to be like, like Ethereal, come in here and record this verse. You know what I'm saying? It's more so as like when I get the opportunity, I can actually make something with somebody. Like the only reason I got like a ABBA record is because I actually had to bring her like to New York with me and be like, hey, let's link up and see if we can make something. We made like 3 songs that night. Nice. And that's the one that I didn't even pick it. She made me pick that song. So like,
song's fire.
Yeah.
You just did a video for it.
Yeah, we did.
Where was that at?
That was in LA.
Yeah.
At what was that? That was half. Actually, was that all in LA? No. That was half LA, half Atlanta. We shot in 2 different locations for that one.
The Zach is hilarious in that.
You talking about in the in the casino?
Yeah,
in the casino, just going crazy. Very expressive individual. It's just wild. Like just is on his face at all times. It's like he's on thought night, and you can see him like he's not doing much, but like the things he does with his face is kind of like, it's like, oh wow, like I feel what you feeling. Like even when he's not talking, it's still like I get it.
Yeah,
like it's real on point.
Nice.
Man is really on point.
You worked with, what's the name? Can I say artist that was on there, or is it still top secret?
Nah, you can say yeah.
Love the record Rico. I think that was fire.
Yeah,
that was fire.
Yeah.
How did that come together?
That was also when I came to New York. I was I like basically holed up in this penthouse in Tribeca, real big, lush. Like some architect owned it, so it was real nice, high ceilings. Awesome. He had artwork hanging from the ceiling, like gigantic crocodiles, like all kinds of wild shit. I've never seen nothing like this or stayed anything like this in my life. Man had like statues in the bathroom, like real Victorian statues and shit. I was like, hey, this is crazy. Like, it was a great way to finish the album. Yeah. So I think she was in New York for a show, and we hit her up and was like, hey, like of all people outside of Awful Records, you're somebody that we all really fuck with. Slide through and work on some shit with me. And she was totally down. And like because you don't really be knowing like in music industry who's a fan of you, who's ever liked you, because everybody is pretty
they like say to themselves, or they don't want to like
nobody outwardly be like, man, I love this other artist. They're just kind of like, I'm gonna hold myself in and say like, you know, like I'm the shit. You know, I can't be like showing love too much, but like her coming over and she was like, oh my God, like, yo, Father, oh my God, I love you. I was like, oh wow, I did not know that. Was never aware of that.
Yeah.
So it was a very easy collaboration to make. Like,
nice.
Vibed automatic. It was like, it felt like the rest of my friends, honestly.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, like a lot of other people be kind of offset and shit like that, kind of strange, but she's reminding me of like how my friends are, period. So that shit like gelled really well, easily.
What's another memorable moment of making that project?
Let me think, because it's like, I feel like I've been working on it kind of like over the past like year and a half anyway.
Yeah.
Damn.
Something that stood out, funny moment.
A funny moment.
Scary moment.
Scary moment. I feel like the only time like I really was like held up was that shit, I don't know. Not really like that. I'm gonna say this, like, this has been the least problematic era of my life. Honestly. It was so like I have no moment that just is like, oh man, that was like something wild happened that night, and like this is how this came out. This is like the least, like this is probably the one time in my whole career of making music in the past 4 years where it's like everything has went according to plan.
Nice.
And like I didn't have like I'm like I hate that I didn't have any kind of wild moment I can like share, but like it was well, it was all pretty good. Like there's nothing like that stood out where I'm just like, damn, that was some weird shit that happened that night. Yeah. That made that song happen. Like,
but I guess that's a good thing. I guess that goes back to pleasant. Everything is pleasant. Yeah.
There's nothing to complain about.
Nice. Is there like a favorite record on there that you like? Oh, I really like this record.
Yeah. I think my favorite record on there is like me and Slug's record. Me and Slug got this where we just traded bars back and forth for like just 8 bar. And that was because you know the Valet record. Yeah. Was it in Valet and shit?
I can't remember the features.
It's like 2/16.
Yeah.
That.
Okay.
So like I initially called it 4/8.
Oh, okay.
So when we were making, I was like, this is gonna be like our version of that. We're just gonna go back and forth like just like, you know, fuck a hook, like let's just go. And Slug really like showed his ass on that, and I was like, bro, like, because everybody's so used to Slug being so like, yeah, Slug cries, you know, like real, like, but he was like, I'm about to go with the fuck in, like let's go, like we just went back and forth, like just killing that shit, and that's like some of my favorite bars on the entire thing, like the entire album, honestly.
You speak about, I was just talking about Valet to a couple of friends and how there was a whole, you know, the whole thing that was like, wow, Valet's delivery, it's like the most popular thing right now. You, from the outside looking in, what's your thoughts on that? Did you see that a lot? But like, man, people are blatantly just taking this as well.
I mean, people, they'll, you know, like people, fans especially, will cop pleas for people just to cop a plea, and it's like, but in the reality of what it is, it's like, yes, you know you jacking his swag. I don't care if you made the song like you happen to somehow have made the song a month before, or it dropped like a month before his song. Is like, I know how industry shit be working. People be working on shit for a very long time before it comes out. Like you hear things, you know how shit work, but that's like one of those unique things of him that I'm just like, if it sounds similar to that, it's because he made it. And honestly, that's what I believe. I don't think you just happen to stumble upon his similar flow. It's a very unique flow. It's a very unique swag that he only has, and I'm pretty sure he's going to continue to have that. 100%. And then other people are going to move past it and go back to doing what the fuck they do, or find some other new shit to swagger jack and shit like that. But that was his thing. Yeah, it's his thing, and he's gonna do it the best at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Other people just running with it and shit for now and to make it like a quick hit, but like I don't know. I'm a purist in that sense.
No, I'm same thing. Also, you have a really great eye for talent. I always felt like you was on people early on, like, yo, you did this feature with this rapper, just like before this rapper became something. Who catches your eye now? Who's interesting?
I'm a fan of. I just saw this video on I was on Twitter. It was like Cincy Molly. I think that's how you say her name. I think it's Cincy Molly. Like, yeah, from is she from Dallas?
Yeah, I think so.
Dallas, right?
Yeah. I think I saw the same thing on Twitter too.
Yeah. It was like a pool party. They were just like kicking shit. But I was like, hey, like she's like, hey, like she has this thing. And she's like after every bar, she's like, hey, and I was like, this is something about this is real special. I don't know what the fuck it is, but like Like I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I was like, it was fire.
Yeah.
And I didn't even feel like it's like a pool party twerking and shit. I'm just like, hey, like I actually enjoyed the song.
This
like,
song is nice.
Spitting kind of like I love this shit. Like it's fun. It's real fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Adult Swim. Go back to that. What's some of your favorite shows that you from Adult Swim?
Oh, all right. One of my favorite shows from Adult Swim. It wasn't long running. I think it got like 2 seasons. Frisky Dingo.
Yeah.
You remember Frisky Dingo?
Yeah.
I wish they would bring that back. I feel like it ended up becoming like what Archer was.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what Archer is now. Like,
Yeah.
That's kind of what Frisky Dingo kind of turned into.
Yeah.
But Frisky Dingo, that was a great show.
That was a good show.
I'm mad it didn't keep going. That was like my number one. Aqua Teen, of course, is like that's like, you know, an obvious one everybody loves.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I fucking loved what is it? My Pretty Little Face in Hell. I thought that was super underrated.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so much shit that they run that they didn't like. They won't continue. It's almost like you're watching them run through ideas and be like, this is like a pilot for this. But
exactly, which I appreciated because I just like that they actually did original programming and took chances with it.
Yeah.
And then also brought in stuff that's overseas that into the States. Like
True.
Growing up, I love Yu Hakusho, and I was like,
oh yeah,
I was like, what is this?
Great show.
Yeah.
Great show. Like honestly, the whole anime program they usually do on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Always been genius. Like since the start of that.
Yeah. Would you ever do like a like an awful record show?
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, I have ideas like right now, ready to go. I'm just waiting on somebody to give me the go ahead. Like,
what's one you can share? Like one you be
one
like
that I can share.
Like, just a tidbit.
Like a. Man, I have this one. All right. I have this one idea.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like even if somebody did it, I would know that it came from me because nobody else is gonna do this. But I had this one idea for like this concept where like these guys, it's like they own a bar, but it's called Hospital Bar. You know, it's a hospital bar, so it's like it looks like a hospital.
Yeah.
But everybody just walks around with IVs plugged into their arms, you're holding the goddamn thing, but it's just full of liquor. And that's where you come, you get drunk at Hospital Bar, you know what I'm saying? You got beds, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's miscellaneous. Like, that was a small idea, but there's so many more that I'm loaded full of that I'm just like, I just want to run it, just try it out. You know what I'm saying? You never know what could become like a big long-term thing. Even if they just gave me like 3 episodes of Hospital Bar, I would totally run that.
Exactly.
Automatic.
No, I would definitely watch that. I wish that was actually real.
Yeah, I do too. I don't feel like it's that much to like. I should probably just go make it immediately before this comes out because somebody's gonna run with it like Hospital Bar. Somebody's gonna actually make that a thing like IV liquor. That's a great idea.
That's actually Hospital Bar. That is actually a great TV show name.
Yeah,
it's definitely simple. It's catchy. I'm into it.
Exactly.
It's been like a while for Off of Records, so I want to know like who's actually in Off of Records now. What is the actual who's under the umbrella?
Like signed
or just affiliated? Like who's
like
who's
most of previous squad is still like down. You know what I'm saying? Like it all depends on like really it's always kind of like a revolving thing where it's like you squad. You know what I'm saying? We've been friends forever anyway. But you know if you're not currently working on music and there's no deal happening right now, it's like, you know, we don't bind you to some weird shit. Or it's like, well, you got a 5-album deal with us, so it's kind of hard to like figure out like to say like who's specifically in squad. But currently working on records for like, you know, the oncoming is like, you know, like Danger Incorporated, Big Baby Scumbag, Lil House Phone is gonna be doing some shit soon as well, Melty Cannon. But there's still like all previous members still there chilling. And whenever they want to drop something, it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna run it. So it's just like when you have something ready to go, we concoct the deal and you know we drop shit. You know what I'm saying? But there's no like long term. It's never been like a long term thing. Everything for anybody.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I kind of like always wanted my shit to be. Where it's like, I got you when I got you, but if I'm in the middle of not doing nothing, then like let me go do some other shit like anyway. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much like. Yeah. Same niggas kicking it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, aside from like a few that, you know, have flown the coop or, you know, did weird shit in the middle of all that. But for the most part, still like 15, 16 strong and shit like that.
Okay, that's cool because I definitely see people like I guess leaving and coming. Like I see Tommy's doing her thing, but she's over there on the left. Archibald.
Archibald, yeah. He's actually out there in LA with me right now working on shit.
Nice. Yeah. How's it like different? How's different working being in LA and Atlanta?
Well, I think the thing about LA, there's always so much going on that I don't know, it's weird. I can't really explain it, but there's something about like the atmosphere in these different places that causes you to either be doing shit or not doing shit. Like whereas like in Atlanta, there's like a lot of free time. Like, you know, people like it's really like, you know, like the show Atlanta and shit like that. It seems like niggas be kicking it. Mm-hmm. In LA, people don't kick it. Even though motherfuckers might be like chilling all day, but nobody really be pulling up on you and being like, oh, let's kick shit today. Like whatever the fuck happened. Like, you know, that don't happen. Like you just sit and wait for the move. That shit don't be happening. People be doing shit all day, or they're not doing shit all day, but they're still not linking. You know what I'm saying? But in Atlanta, your homie will come over and be kicking shit with you for like days. Yeah. Like 3, 4, 5 days. Might be there for the whole fucking week. Yeah. Might somehow end up living with you for a month. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit just happen randomly. Yeah. And it ends up turning into like how you have like my old album. Like they sound like party albums damn near. Like it's like it sound like y'all been like really like gelling and like converging and kicking shit for like a minute. Whereas LA, it's like the move is planned a little bit. Yeah. And even when the move is planned, it's like, I'm not in the mood. And I'm like,
that's a drive.
It's like all this sun just has me phased out. I feel so good right now, and I want to stay in this bed. I'm gonna kick it. Like I'm not coming out tonight. Like, but whereas in Atlanta, it's like you said, there's a move tonight. We best believe we gonna all converge on that because ain't shit to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna miss a possible like lit ass move. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for what's happened in the past 2 years since I ain't been there. Yeah. You know, I just visit like once a month, but I'm pretty sure it's very similar still. Yeah. Going back, it feels similar, so I would feel like shit ain't changed up too much.
I feel like that was the beauty of Atlanta, like you said. Like literally, people just come over and it's like, all right, I'm just here, and then you just kick it.
Yeah, you just kick shit. I feel like a lot of people find that weird as fuck. When I first moved to LA, like, and I was like, I invite friends over for like barbecues and shit like that. Yeah, I don't think niggas know what a cookout is. Like, I don't think they get the concept of like, bro, come over. Kick shit. Just stay for a minute, bro. Like, just kick shit. You can be. I don't care if you don't have to leave. Like, motherfuckers be leaving by like 11 p.m. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know, you better go party or nothing. You better go home.
You about to just go home. Yeah, just relax.
Yeah, be in your own space by yourself. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy that too. Like, you know, like, all right, I'm done with this. Let me go home now. Yeah. But as like, I just be weird by that sometimes. I'm just like, bro, like, do you not like me for real? Like, you so used to your friends coming over and kicking shit till like 3 a.m. You be like, you don't fuck with me then, I guess. Like, it's not that fun. I guess this shit ain't that fun, but I don't know. It's just people move different. That's all. Yeah.
Even though you haven't been living in Atlanta per se, I do want to ask about like, I guess one of the beauties about you and Off of Records that y'all just showed a different side of Atlanta. Yeah. Like from the outside end, me especially being from up north is like, yo, this is like a really cool part because usually you only get fed trap side, all that stuff, but then you show like it was like a very much left DIY, very much creative side, which has become more popular and popular. I guess have you seen it develop more? Have you seen it grow more? I feel like you're one of the people that helped continue that legacy.
Personally, I have not seen it grow more than what it was before, which is kind of saddening, honestly. Like it seems like it's gone back to like after that first like emergence of that scene.
2014 was a great it was just like this whole scene.
Like getting bigger and going to like other states, like, you know, getting like you know, Europe and all that shit. Like it seems like it kind of stayed there and then kind of like mellowed. And everybody loves that like trap club shit again. Like that real like love and hip hop almost scene. It's like it's like what kind of came back to the forefront. You know, via like, you know, different channels and shit. You can't blame that on the artists themselves. It's like you know, visibility, the industry slick be choosing that sometimes. Yeah. So like a lot of shit that gets visible is that normal trap club scene. You know what I'm saying? That's what people expect out of Atlanta to this day. Still, I mean, like I guess we somehow like happen to make that happen in a different kind of way at that time period. But I would say it has regressed back to what the fuck it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like you only get so many like surges of that whole like, oh, like the weird creative part of Atlanta has like risen up again. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think people like that shit for too long. You know, I think it goes in waves is all.
Yeah.
Like, like we had Outkast and Dungeon Family and shit.
Exactly.
And then after that you had, hood niggas. Like, and it's like then you have like weirdo hood niggas, and then you have like the just pure weird niggas, and then it just goes in like different waves and shit. But I'm pretty sure it'll make its way back around again, like in that cycle how it usually does. But only a matter of time, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back. I think 2014 was when like that's when everything you was breaking out, off the record was coming out. What was that like back then? Like when it was happening?
For the city or just in general, like
for you, and then like I'm curious to see like what does it feel like when an artist is becoming more bigger than like just a known city name?
I don't know, man. It's like it's always, for me it was this thing where I was like, damn, I kind of expected this, but this is also weird as shit. I was like, for real, like this is happening? Like, you kind of like in the back of your head like, this is happening? Like, why am I in New York right now? Like, not even on my own accord. Somebody told me to come here, like brought me here. Like, I didn't just go like hope for like, man, I hope something happens this week. Like, I hope I land a show or some shit like that. It's like somebody brought me here, and now I'm trying to go home, and somebody's trying to keep me here. And it's like, nah, bro, stay longer. We need more shows. Do some more shows. Like, I was here stuck for like 2 weeks because niggas was like, hey, bro, come do this show on Wednesday. It's like, hey, you're gonna do this house party on Saturday. And it's like, all right, okay, y'all gonna keep, like, it's lit. All right, bro, fuck it. Like, niggas ain't, like, I had no appeal before. I was creating my appeal before. Yeah. So it's like, people to, like, want to help you grow further and further, be different. In terms of the city, like, it felt like, goddamn, like an industrial boom. Like, a lot of, like, to watch, like, a venue that was not shit blossom into this, I don't know, like, it degraded at the same time. Like, it blossomed as well as like created chaos. Like, a lot of shit that was going on at that time. Like, while things were, shit would go from peaceful to like, it's like, okay, shit's booming now. People are finding out about it, and things would degrade quickly. I saw a lot of that happening. Like the street that we were all partying on all the time. Like, suddenly it was just lush, filled with people. Went back recently, not too long ago. That street is dead now. Like, it was popping as hell when that shit was going on in 2014, but it's pretty much dead now. The main venue we all came out of closed down. Like, that shit's done. Damn. And like, but there was a lot of fuckery going on at that time period. So it's like of course, like, I think that's like a reoccurring thing in Atlanta. Like, you something booms and then you drain it of its resources, turn it into something very dark, and I don't know, yeah. But that was also during like a very big boom in like the Zan and Perk era of shit, like, so that kind of went with it. But I mean, like, yeah, the partying is like, it's like Freaknik, you know what I'm saying? They got that shit the fuck out of the city because it was getting it was so fun. It was so fun, and I think like that's like a reoccurring thing with Atlanta where it's like shit be too fun. It be
just imagine you standing around like, whoa, this is kind of crazy.
shit get too fun, and then you fuck it up. Like, that's what happens. Like, you fumble the bag because you let that shit get too fun. Having too good of a time. And then that shit die, and it moves. That energy moves somewhere else after you sap the shit out of it. Like, that's how my living, like, and living out there, that's what that felt like every time. Moved to different places, like, we'd sap the life out of that building, and it would become dilapidated.
I've never experienced Freaknik before, so as me being from Jersey, so like, what was that like?
Oh, I wasn't alive for that.
Okay, I'm about to say.
I mean, I'm not alive. I was alive for that. My mom used to go.
Did he get stories about it?
I was like 6 years old though, so like I was still like I was in Mississippi, so like I'm in Mississippi and shit. I'm like 6-year-old and shit. I'm at the house. My mom be like, all right, I'm out, and then leave me with like an auntie or some shit, like. Or leave me with her friend, and she out, like, and it's like 96, 97, like 95 Atlanta. She go out there and party, you know what I'm saying, have a good ass time and shit. Come back with t-shirts with bitches shaking ass on the shirt. I'm like, oh, okay, it must have been fun. Come back playing like all kinds of new music, like, oh, so what's this Uncle Luke shit? This shit's tight. Okay, like, you know what I'm saying, like, That's what that was for me because I'm so young. You know, I just associated with like I'm like okay, there was clearly a lot of adults drinking things. And having fun. Yeah, and like a lot of like twerk that, shake that, monkey, you know, like that's what I learned from it like as a child. You know,
do you think it will ever come back?
Hell no. I heard that shit was wild. I heard that was like savagery, like just we gonna fuck in the street type shit. Like I don't think that's ever gonna happen again. Like we're like culture is like we've moved too far like for that to happen again. Like the society would have to just break down as a whole before we get back to that again. I feel like, and that was before the Olympics came. I think the Olympics is what
kind of
cleaned up the city.
98?
Yeah, like or like 97.
97.
Olympics came in 97. And I think Freaknik was all before that. The Olympics came, they were like, hey, we gotta shut this shit down. Like, nah, no more of this. Like, this ain't this ain't Brazil, nigga. Like, this ain't like we're not out here just hooligans like fucking in the street and twerking and shit. Like y'all sitting here eating pussy on the side of the goddamn like cops just. I'm about to catch some twerk too. Like it's like, nah, that's not happening no more. They were like, we got to clean this up. Like the Olympics is here now. Like, look good. So I think that caused the death of that, and then.
Yeah, I feel like the '90s was just like a weird time. I was just talking about this. I was like, I feel like the '90s, it was just stuff you'd be like, why did this ever happen? I think what had sparked it? It was like Air Bud. I was like, they really made 4 to 5 movies about a dog playing basketball. And I couldn't believe it.
It worked then. Like, I don't know. A lot of shit worked then that would never work ever again.
You just go back and like, I cannot believe it.
Like, you go back in like to the 80s and the 70s and shit, and you'd be like, oh, I understand. Yeah. And it's like the 90s is like, why?
What's going on over here?
Yeah, like what brought y'all minds to be doing this at this time period from like 93 to like 97, 98, and it's like I don't know what the fuck was going on. It's like the gates of hell opened, and everybody was like, "Let's just try everything.
Let's just get weird." Like I just look back, I'm like, we did some weird shit in the '90s.
It really did.
But then no, it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And that's where everybody always goes back. It's like, man, that was a great time. Let's do it again. It's like, nah, let's not.
Exactly.
Like, we were just young and stupid. We thought it worked, but it don't actually work. Like it would never work again.
Horrible ideas.
Yeah.
As a person who had dreads, tell me about the day to cut your dreads. Was that tough for you? Was that like long overdue?
It was long overdue. I had bleached it too many times, and like that's why I was like, I know these rap niggas is getting like sew-ins and shit, because I'm like, I bleached my shit twice, and them motherfuckers was falling out.
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd wake up and there's like a dread like on my pillow.
Oh,
I'm like, oh shit. Like, you know, I was pretty good at moisturizing and shit. You know, keeping them like nice and shit like that. And it was cute for a minute, you know what I'm saying? The blondie dread shit was cute for a good minute. I was like, damn, I look good. Like, okay, all right. But then you start getting towards the end of that motherfucker, and it's like, hey, yo. Like, it look like I got some shit on top of my shit. Like, it looked weird. And like, when I cut it, I was like, oh, damn, I still look good. Okay, great, thank God. I was scared. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my sauce. Like, cause I was in the middle of working on this album and shit. Yeah. So I'm just like, man, if I cut these dreads off and this music not good no more, then it's true. You really can Samson yourself, and you're gonna be like looking foolish. But then like I kept on. I was like, I cut them, and I was like, it was one of those moments where I was like, it was like relief. I was like,
wow. Like, so you did it yourself?
Yeah, I did. I always cut mine. Like, well, I've been going to the barber now because, like, I guess when you got a low cut, you gotta like make that shit look nice. But like before, like I used to always cut myself.
Oh,
even
nice.
when I had dreads, I would cut my own like sides and shit like that.
Nice.
Which is why I lost a lot of dreads, because my dumb ass was like snipping them off and shit on accident. But yeah, I shaved them off myself, and like on some real military like skinhead shit, and I was like, okay,
I can fuck with it.
I was like, face still good, like face perfect. All right, nice. And then like working on like, you know, let me get the fade nice and shit. Like I'm like, oh, okay, this works. So I didn't, and then I started making the music. Didn't falter. It's, you know, it's still I'm rapping my ass off and shit. I'm like, oh, I made a hit. Okay, that's a slapper right there. All right, and I'm like, confidence still there. Nice. So it's like it's not true, bro. Yeah. Like it's not true.
Nice.
I mean, if your personality is based in your hair, then I guess sure. Yeah. But before I got dreads, it's like, because it wasn't even that long ago.
I was about to say, did you remember how you looked before you got dreads? Because I remember, but also like, shit, it's been like 10, 10 to 12
like,
years.
When I started rapping, I did not have dreads, and you kind of forget that. You feel like you had them for a minute.
Exactly.
Like, and then my shits got extra long, and I was always cutting them shorter and shorter, so they would have been long as fuck before I cut them, but I was always making them shorter and shorter at all times, so I can keep like a good length.
Yeah.
But I only started growing dreads in like 2014.
Wow.
So most of my life I didn't have dreads. So I don't know why I felt so weird about getting rid of them. You know, it's kind of crazy. It's like you only had something for so short time of your life, but you feel like that's like your life suddenly.
Yeah.
But I was cool afterwards, bro. I was like, man, this is nice. There's no weight no more.
Yep.
Like
Neck is free.
neck free. I lay on the bed. I don't feel like nobody touching my shit. Like, you know, like some shit rubbing your face. Like, what the fuck going on? Like, and you have the option of like, I'm gonna throw on like some other shit. Like, you know, like
True.
You know, like I'm gonna throw on like my girl, she be throwing on wigs and shit. I'm just like, hey, let me get that wig, let me put that bitch on. Y'all, Maybelline, like, hey, this shit crazy. I see why y'all be doing this. Like, you know, it's it's fun. When you got dreads, you got one hairstyle,
really
bro. You stuck there.
You gotta figure it out. Like, I guess I tie it this way. I guess I put it up this way.
I threw on some bangs the other day for the fuck of it. I threw on some bangs for the fuck of it. Got like 20,000 goddamn likes. I was like, shit. I see why y'all be doing this now. It makes sense. Like, just switch it up every day if you want to. Nice. So it's cool. It's cool.
So what's next for you? What's the next in the next couple of years?
Honestly, like once this album drops, I'll keep working on music steadily and shit like that. But I'm creative first. Like creative first, then the music was always like kind of like the thing I did afterwards. It just took off. But I just want to go back to like, you know, film directing and shit like that. Because I've been directing all the videos that have been coming out again lately, and I was like, oh wow, I really enjoy this. Like I love like creating an idea and seeing it come to fruition like on screen. And I kind of forgot that for a second because, like, you know, I was getting so busy before where it's like, I can't handle this video. I don't want this video shit anymore. Pass it off to this director and tell him to come with an idea, you know? So I just stopped directing my own shit. But doing this again now, I'm like, yo, I'm really loving this shit. Like, I remember, like, how this feels. Like, I have this vision and, like, seeing it fulfilled is a great feeling. Honestly, more than, like, the music sometimes. So, like, going back to that, just, like, TV, movie.
Nice.
I also want to get into video games.
Nice.
You know,
okay.
Like just I mean, I can't code and design and shit like that, but you know, I can come up with characters and, you know, plot and shit like that. But so I had to find a team to work on that. But I have a few video game ideas I want to run through. Nice. So I just got to find somebody to work on that. So
that'd be fire,
man.
Man.
Honestly, that's the end goal. Honestly. Like, cause there's no real big, you know, like games for us. Like I be playing Skyrim and shit. Like I'm like, man, it's all the nigga hairstyles y'all got. Like that nigga can't get no waves or nothing like that. It's like, so y'all think all niggas is either just like low cut or got dreads or braids and that's it. I'm just like, bro, that's not like, come on. Like, so like I want to make
facts. That's facts.
I want to get into like, you know, game art and design.
Yeah. I mean, shit, the industry's booming. I just saw, what's the name? They got esports now on ESPN. I was like, this is insane.
Oh, you're right. I did come across that. I was shocked.
I was like, oh my God.
I was like, so y'all niggas watching niggas play y'all niggas.
Exactly. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this ESPN the main? This is like, oh snap.
Y'all on some other shit now. This is some real like, there's some meta shit going on. It's like there's some shit inside some shit inside some shit is wild to me. Yeah. But fucking with it, that's great.
Oh, I forgot to ask. What do you think of the show Atlanta? I feel like it's this huge show now, and I just want to get your thoughts here. What do you think of the show?
I love the show. Yeah, I watch it. If it dropped, I'm watching all the seasons, bro. Like I really like it. It reminds me like from like my perspective of being in Atlanta. It's like a lot of weird kooky shit that happens in that show that really reminds me of my life. From it's like this exact moment has happened. Like every single moment that has occurred in that show, I'm just like, I've dealt with that. I've dealt with this. I've dealt with that. I've dealt with, which is kind of like I was kind of shocked because like I always heard that he was like a Northside nigga or no Stone Mountain, right?
Yeah, Stone
Mountain nigga. I was like, I didn't think they was like the same thing as like what happened inside the city and shit like that. So I was like, it's gonna be some weird take on like what happens inside the city limits. But I was like, nah, I guess it happens everywhere because this shit is pretty on point.
Oh wow.
Like my homie, he hate the show. Like also from Atlanta.
Wow.
Like he's more on like the trap side of shit. He's like, nah, bro, this shit's not cool. Like this is not how this shit is. I'm like, I mean, from my perspective, this is exactly what your ass was doing.
Yeah.
And like how my friends act and the weird situations you go through in this whole city and like dealing with these different characters. Like it's pretty on point to me. And I kind of like some of like the episodes where it's like, I like that it's non-linear as well. Like,
yes.
Well, it's linear, but at the same time, shit be coming in and out where it's like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything?
Yeah.
But it's like small pieces of character development that be happening in every episode. And I'm like, I like these small attentions to detail that he be doing.
Yeah.
Like it's on point.
Yeah, like when what's her name went to the to get the piano. I thought that's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I don't know what this have to do with the story, but this shit is great.
Yeah,
like,
right. It seemed like it's on its own. It was something that was really interesting.
Yeah.
I really fuck with that. Like it was perfect. Like you could set that aside. Like if you can take an episode and set it aside from the entire series.
Yeah.
A lot of those episodes do that, which is perfect. I think he really locked that in the second season.
Same.
The first season was like, okay, you kind of need to be following along to get what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But like in the second season, a lot of episodes stand by themselves, which is like I think is perfect writing.
100%.
Yeah.
And then the last thing we do is we ask if you had to give advice to other artists, other indie artists, or artists coming up. Yeah. What advice would you give them?
Shit, man. I don't want to be like obvious, but like stick to your guns, bro. Goddamn, never waver, never change. Go with the flow, though. I would say that like I think my thing about it is I never think too hard. Don't think too hard about things. Honestly, it's kind of like I've noticed a lot of friends of mine, they get too into the craft and they stagger themselves and they like it takes too long. Like things don't develop. People like to see your development, which people don't realize. I think people like they want to come out the gate just like strong. And it's like nah, you can't. Like it's not possible. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come out when you come out, and if you're gonna be waiting and putting it off 10 years, and it's like you're gonna miss that way in that you had. Maybe that weak thing that you thought that was weak is kind of the thing that's offset to most people and gets them interested. And then like develop. Like if I like said fuck all that shit that I was working on before and drop the shit I'm making right now first, people probably would not be interested in it at all. Like they might hear it and be like, oh, it's cool, whatever. But like I feel like people love to see people's development over time. So like you not knowing what you're doing to you kind of knowing what you're doing to you being like, I got this in the bag now. Yeah. So I think that's like just get started, and then don't skip a beat at that point. Nice. Nice. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you for doing this. It's a great conversation.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. That's today's episode of Soundcheck, and definitely check out Fowler's Awful Swim mixtape, which is out now. You can listen to more episodes of Soundcheck and keep up with everything HYPEBEAST Radio at hypebeast.com/radio. Subscribe to Soundcheck on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Overcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts on. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at ECM_LP and follow HYPEBEAST Music for more original content and music news. Let us know who you like to have on the show, and thank you for listening to Soundcheck.